Hello everyone, this is Skew for hotkeyit.com, and today I'll be discussing my first video in a series of videos. It's going to be covering the basics of Terran. Now it's going to be focused on hotkeys today. We're going to be talking about what you should be hotkeying using Control 1 through 0. Also going to be discussing area hotkeys, which is F1 well, I use F1 through F4, but you can use the others. So to get this started, I'm just going to be building up slowly some units. I'm not playing versus anyone in particular. There's nobody else in the game. It's just me, and just kind of going to get some units and production facilities out, so I can give you context to why I use certain hotkeys the way I do. Now, if you're new to the game, and if you ever find yourself clicking, this is the very first thing, and it's very basic, and most people know this, but if you ever find yourself clicking on an SCV, or let's say you need your orbital and you click the orbital, stop doing it right now. It's really important that you stop doing that because you want to know the hotkey for every single thing for your race, or every single thing that you'll use all the time. So let's say, for instance, you did click that orbital. Be conscious of it and realize, oh, oops, I clicked it. I need to use the hotkey. Cancel it, hit escape. Never click stuff to cancel. Always hit escape. And hover over it, see the hotkey, think, okay, the hotkey's B, then press B. Even if you're in a ladder game and let's say you need Marines, really fast because he's attacking you, and you click a bunch of Marines, realize, okay, I clicked a bunch of Marines, but that's not how I'm supposed to do it. That's really inefficient. It's bad, and it's not helping me get better. Hold down cancel, cancel all of it, and then hover if you don't know the hotkey. It's A. Click, press down A. So you always want to do that. Anytime you find yourself clicking hotkeys, stop doing it, go back, make the corrections, and always do this. Even in ladder games, even in tournaments, it doesn't matter what you're in, because the more you discipline yourself to do this, the quicker you'll get with it. If you're very lazy about it, you'll just never get it done. Okay, so with that out of the way, knowing that you always need to know the hotkeys, also use the default hotkeys for your race. Don't go into if you press F10 and you press F10 and H, you can change all your hotkeys around. You can change the siege tank build. Or my bad. If you click on the unit, you can change siege mode and unsiege mode. If you click on the factory, you can change the hotkey for the Hellion and everything. Leave those on default. The reason is, um, I have heard of events in StarCraft 2. If you plan on being a competitive player, I have heard of events not letting people use custom hotkeys. You never want to run into a situation like that where you have to use the default hotkeys. Also, if you go to a LAN event or whatever, you use different accounts or whatever. Um, Apologies if you can hear that. There's an Air Force base very near to my house, and the jets are super loud. So back to the point. So if you've changed your hotkeys away from the default, set them back to what they normally are. It'll just make it easier in the long run. If you go to events or whatever, you'll have them ready. If you change accounts, you'll be used to it. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna go over really quick that you do want to change, and this is kind of, oops, hit cancel, meant to hit F10. I'm gonna just pause really quick to talk about this. The one thing that you do want to change, and this is kind of contradictory to what I just said, but you want to change. So if you hit F10 and go into hotkeys and you go to global and then camera, um, you want to change your create location hotkeys and your jump to location, because originally I believe it is Control F1 through Control F8, and to jump to those locations, you have to do Shift F1 through Shift F8, and that's just very, very, it's inefficient. You have to hit too much stuff, and you have to spread your hand a little bit too far to do that. So in Broodor, what it was, and by the way, if you're confused what this is, create location is an area hotkey, so you can go anywhere on the map, do um, default, it'll be Control Shift, I guess. You could do Control Shift F1, and then you can just do Shift F1 again by default. I have mine changed, and it'll immediately take you to that area, that specific area. So these are area hotkeys. Now we have these in Brood War, which is the game I come from, and they were Shift F1 through Shift F. I don't know how far it went up. Probably 8. I never used it past 6 though. Um, so I changed it to that because shift is really the closest thing that you can hit with the F keys. You could change it to the tilde key or something weird like that. I guess you could use tab, but tab is used for other things. So shift really isn't. So shift is better. You know, it's closer than control, obviously. If you have small hands, that matters. And so I set it to shift F1 through shift F4. I do not use F5, F6, F7, or F8, so I left those on default because I simply don't care. And then to jump to these locations, you want to change it to F1, F2, F3, F4. Now, the importance of this, at least in StarCraft 2, the main importance of this is what I do at the beginning of every single game, and I put all my command centers on 5, by the way, so I would hit Control 5 on my command center at the start of the game, then I would hold down Shift F1 on my command center, my main command center. I would scroll over to my expansion, hold down Shift and F2, and this is going to create an area location at my expansion. I would go to my third and hit Shift F3, and I'll have my area location there. And then what you can do is F1, your main, F2, your expansion, F3 ring. So you can just jump around as fast as you want in any orders you want. So, what's the point of this? The point of this, obviously, is that if it's mostly about being harassed, right? So, you know, let's say we have our Marines and we're walking down and we're in a battle and we're kind of microing and we see just out of the edge of the fog of war, medevac is dropping Marines like right here, and it's, you know, they're stimming and they're running up, and we're in this battle, and we kind of just see stuff running up in our base. Well, there's so many things going on sometimes that you'll just kind of spaz out, and you'll try and click your command center, and you'll miss and click, and you know, who knows how much stuff you're losing. Even if you don't, even if you do get near the area, like let's say we see it in the fog of war and we have to go up really quick. We clicked right there. Well, we're still not really in the best position because then we have to scroll to the very top and box select to move our SCVs away from the incoming harass. And that's not good because what if we go to scroll click and then, or what if we go to box select and we go too far, and then it'll scroll and mess us up. So to get around all that, if you have your army in the middle of the map, you can just hit, actually let me throw down the command center here really quick so we can actually have a real example of how this will work out. I'm just building up some units really quick here, just to use as an example. Okay, so, and what I did there, by the way, to put both of these in 5, I had my original command center selected, hold down Shift, click my next command center, Control F5 to add it into the 5th group. So now they're both on 5.